Hello, welcome back to Solo-Ensemble.com. My name is Douglas Abernathy. I'm the owner and developer of Solo-Ensemble.com. This series of videos illustrates some of the user interface elements that people use when they work with the software. This video will talk about the contest scheduling function, in which we're going to create blocks of time called sessions. So as always, we start from our member dashboard when we are logged in. Now I've already logged in as myself, so here are the contests with which I'm associated. And the contest scheduling function to set up scheduling is done from the contest staff login. Under the pre-contest area, at the bottom of the list, you'll see contest scheduling. Go there. There are several things that you can establish in setting up a schedule. So what exactly are we talking about? Sessions are blocks of time, and they're broken up into time slots in which normally you're going to have your student performances. So a session is defined by several things. When it starts and when it ends, and how many time slots are in it. And then also we're going to be attaching things to a session, such as what room it's in, what schools are associated with it, judges, accompanists, and video channels, things like that. Before we actually create a session, there are some resources that you're going to want to have created in advance. And so, for example, one of them is called contest rooms. And these are literally just rooms at the location where you're going to have your contest. Normally that's a school, but it could also be a municipal facility or maybe the school district building. And so you want to give the room a name and a description. Sometimes the description is nothing more than the room number, like room 108 is room 108. But sometimes the description might be a little more colorful, like the cafeteria is loud and smelly. Just some examples there of rooms. So we also have what are called resources. Contest resources are things that you assign to the contest that are not necessarily members of your office staff or judges or accompanists. So it can be a person, right? Maybe that's a student volunteer, but it also can be an object like a marimba. And I'll add a new resource here. We'll call it the band laptop PC, and we hit the plus sign to add, and now we have a new resource we've added to our contest resources list. The last type of element that you want to create before you start building your time blocks, if you have a virtual contest, are what I call video channels. What is a video channel? Essentially, it is a way for judges and students to meet up virtually for judging if you're having a virtual contest. And I'm using the software Zoom to do my video meetup. So we're going to have, here's another Zoom. So we're going to have Zoom demo 123. I'm going to make up a fake URL, HTTPS zoom.us, and then question mark meeting ID equals 678. That's not a real Zoom URL or ID, but it's just you get the idea. You'll put in the real one here that you scheduled those. And then in the additional information, you'll have like password equals Chumley and please log in 5 minutes before the session starts. Okay, whatever information you want to give about logging into that channel. And then we're going to hit plus for adding that. So now we have another video channel added to our list. Now let's go back to contest scheduling. And now that we know we have rooms, we have resources, we have channels, we're going to go to sessions and list all sessions. And obviously I've created several sessions here. And we could create a new one if we wanted. Or we could edit an existing one. I'm going to go ahead up here at the toolbar. The plus is for creating a new session. The minus will allow you to select a session and delete it. And then if you have a session that is similar to what you're going to want, you can duplicate it and it will copy it with a name like Morning Jazz became copy of Morning Jazz. So I'm going to just go ahead and edit let's see, one that doesn't have hardly anything in it. Let's edit Percussion PM. So we're going to go into this session. A lot going on here. In the left-hand panel is where you have the session's name, the date. That's kind of an old date, so I'm going to update that to something a little newer. Let's say it's 2019. And what is the tempo? The tempo means that every 15 minutes you expect to have a new performance in that room. And currently this session is scheduled to start at 12:30 and end at 4:30 in the afternoon. These are in military time formats. So I'm going to update since I made a change, and now it's been updated. Now we're going to go over to the session assignments. Think of these as like pin the tail on the donkey things. You've got a lot of a list of rooms and a list of judges and a list of staff members and resources, and we can assign them to this session. So remember, I had added a new resource. I added a laptop. So band laptop. I select that. I'm going to click the tree icon, and that's now been added to this session. You can only assign one room to a session and one school to a session, and that's by design. You can, however, select multiple judges. So you might have a 3-hour session, and you could have maybe 2 or 3 judges that fill in for each other in that room. So if I'm going to add Michael Gaines as a judge, add. And then under accompanists, we're going to add Wilma Flintstone, add. And then we're going to add that new video channel that we just created. So select channel, zoom demo 1, 2, 3, and I'm going to add that. So I've now added all these things to the channel. Now on the right half of the screen, every time I clicked the green button, that did the add. So there's no update button on this side. So now let's go back to list all sessions and see if we see any differences. If we look for our Percussion PM, now we'll see several things. We'll see that Michael Gaines is a judge, and there's the little key at the bottom. And then Wilma Flintstone is an accompanist, and the band laptop has been added as a resource. We didn't put the instrument type, which is, we know it's called percussion, so I'm going to go back in and set the instrument type to be percussion. Set that. And everything else looks good. So we will go back to list all sessions. And that is how you edit a session. Again, if you want to create one from scratch, you'll just hit the plus button. Let's go to there now, create a new session where you give it a short description, new session for demo, and we'll put in, leave it at today's current date. Tempo, leave it at 10 minutes. It starts 8:30, goes to 11:30. That works for me. And so we'll hit create. And now we have a new session, and we go try to look at what it looks like. Go back to scheduling, list all sessions. New session for demo is down here at the bottom. And of course, it has no assignments, it has nothing. So I'm going to edit it. And now we get back to our edit menu where I can assign rooms, schools, etc., etc. So I'm going to go ahead and assign a couple of things. Assign a school, go. You have to hit enter or click the little button, after each item. So I have to put this in the percussion hall. No, actually that was the other one. I'm going to put this one in room 202. Assign. And select a judge. We'll use Mr. Michelson. And select a staff member. Now we'll select a resource. We'll add a marimba. And then what type of instrument is in this room? We'll do brass. Add. All right, we've pinned a few things on here. Oh, and let's add that video channel too. It's normally you'll only have one video channel per room. So for my demo purposes, you'll see that some of these have been multiply assigned, but you'll normally only have one per. All right, so there is new session for demo. Let's go look at it now on the list. And I think you'll see that new session for demo now has several things associated with it. You got the room, the school, the judge, the instrument type, and a resource type. So Sessions are powerful and can help you organize your contest. If you want to see what the video link looks like, you click that little button, and there's your Zoom test video link, including the URL. You can actually have more than one video link in a session, although that could lead to confusion, but I'll leave that up to you. All right, thank you for listening, and we'll talk to you again later.